My name is Douglas Heintzman. I work for the Burnie Group, which is a management consulting and disruptive technology firm based in Toronto, Ontario. Well, that's one of the big challenges. AI has an awful lot of different definitions, and people are using it often in kind of a casual marketing sense on the one hand, and other people are using it in kind of a dystopian Skynet sort of way. And the reality is probably closer to the former than the latter. But I view AI as being just fundamentally different from programmatic systems where we kind of define rules of automation to ones where we inform algorithms of a situation, and we also give them a corpus of information so that they can learn from that corpus and then be able to make judgment calls with respect to any new piece of information that they're introduced to, so they can provide guidance and insight based on some large corpus of information. So the difference between a normal traditional system and an AI system really has to do with the algorithm's ability to learn and adapt, and effectively to add logic to its own programming. Yeah, I think the one that I'm kind of spending the most time worrying about is probably neutrality. One of the problems we have with AI is the issue of bias. What happens when we have a perfectly good algorithm that we've programmed exactly properly, but we expose it to a corpus that may quite unintentionally contain a bias in it, whether it's too small a sample size or whether the questions haven't been asked right, it's based on survey information, or it's been collected only at one time of the day. There may be all kinds of biases in it, and if you teach someone based on information that contains a bias, then any recommendations, any observations, any insight, any decisions that it makes will be biased by the fact of its education. So I think we want to make sure that AI engines have a lot of neutrality, and the way that we accomplish that is by ensuring that we're very careful about introducing biases to the training sets. The future is hard to predict, the prediction is hard, especially about the future. I think one of the issues with AI is that it kind of embarks us on a very exciting journey, but we're not completely sure what the boundaries of that journey are, because it involves this new capability for these systems to actually learn themselves. And that's an exciting and new dynamic that we need to both celebrate and be very careful about. I think probably the most important effect is probably going to be, for these that I'm interested in, is probably going to be in healthcare. It's incredibly expensive, and most of the developed economies are spending increasingly large percentages of their GDP on healthcare, and the demographics are such that that's going to become more and more expensive, and on top of that we're getting more and more interesting treatments and people are living much longer lives. We absolutely have to find a way to reduce the per capita cost of the delivery of healthcare while improving patient outcomes. And the combination of large corpuses of data with the fall in genomics testing and coding, combined with artificial intelligence, should give medical practitioners a new tool set that will dramatically improve patient outcomes while significantly reducing costs.